Hello and a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world, and welcome to today's special, Chevening special with the University of Bradford. We're joined today by Professor Anand and three other guests who have all participated and are experts within the Chevening field. Before I hand you over, just a reminder that today's session is live. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat facility, which is everyone's go-to, but there is a Q&A option there also, so please use that and we will endeavour to get round to your questions as soon as possible. It's not a typical presentation today. It's much more of a panel discussion, a group discussion, where you can chip in with your questions whenever you like. A reminder, if you are watching on demand, if you're watching on YouTube, our social media channels, or on postgrad.com today, this is being recorded on the 22nd of August 2025. So some of the bits and pieces we talk about might not be wholly relevant to where you are at that stage. But to email webinars@postgradsolutions.com and we'll send your question over to Professor Anand. But for now, I'd like to hand you over to Professor Anand. I'll be back towards the very end just to wrap things up. But for now, over to you, Professor, and we'll catch up later on in the session.
Thank you, Gareth. Thank you very much. Good morning. And as Gareth said, or good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are. It's a real pleasure to welcome you to this session. I'm P.B. Anand. I'm Professor of Public Policy and Sustainability at the Department of Peace Studies and International Development in the University of Bradford. But I'm also the coordinator for the Chevening Scholarships for nearly 12 years now. So it has been a real privilege to be part of the Chevening journey at Bradford. Today we had a choice. We could have presented some slides and some presentation, but I thought it would be best to have a conversation with some of the people who have been to Bradford, who studied here, and now are kind of carrying the flag as ambassadors of Bradford and ambassadors of the profession as well, in a way, kind of spreading that leadership inspiration in different parts of the world. So that's why I have three tremendous guests. So I will invite to introduce them in a moment. About Bradford itself, at the University of Bradford, I have had a very long association with Chevening right from when I joined here a long time ago. In the early 2000s, of course, there was a lot of emphasis on Chevening fellowships, which are short programs rather than master's degree programs. And gradually that emphasis has changed and shifted since about 2010 to more or less greater emphasis on professional master's degrees. I have seen this transition and I have worked on both sides of the kind of the application processes. So I have some idea. I think Chevening is very, very competitive and very prestigious, and I'm sure you bring a lot as well in applying for Chevening scholarship. And once, if you are successful and if you win the scholarship, I hope you will come to Bradford, but whichever university you choose, that is fine. But I think the most important thing is that you see this as an opportunity of becoming a kind of a triple ambassador for your country, ambassador for the Chevening program itself, and ambassador for the university. So at Bradford, that is the ethos that we have been working with generations of Chevening scholars. In Bradford, we also have been very fortunate to have another similar kind of program, which is called the Rotary Peace Scholarship. And so we also have one of the Rotary Peace Scholars here. So that is very similar program to Chevening, but there are some differences. So before I go a little bit further, let me invite to very briefly introduce our three guests. So Obe Boini. So Obe Boini is from Côte d'Ivoire. I have been to Côte d'Ivoire many times and continue to go there. Yeah, Obe, do you want to say a little bit about yourself, and then we'll come back and to develop more on leadership
Okay,
issues later.
yeah. Okay, hi everyone. Thank you, Professor Anand. It's a pleasure being here today. I'm from Côte d'Ivoire, West Africa country, close to Nigeria and Ghana, Liberia too, Mali, Burkina Faso. So we have been African champion during the AFCON 2024. And I'm associate professor at the University Félix Houphouët-Boigny, the National University, and also ambassador for the University of Bradford here in Côte d'Ivoire, and also the general manager of the British Corner in Côte d'Ivoire. So it's a pleasure for me being here, and former Chevening Scholar, of course,
Mm.
from Côte d'Ivoire, and also study at the University of Bradford. Thank you.
Thank you. Which year did you study, Bunyi? In which year you were here? So tell them that.
Yeah. So I study master in advanced practice in peace building conflict resolution, and then it was in 2021, and I graduated in December 5th of 2021. So yeah, it's a pleasure for me to be here, and I will share some experience with you guys. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Can I also invite Chindota Tambala from Malawi? So, Chindota, say a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, Professor Anand, and thank you to Postgrad Solutions for having us today. So as Professor said, my name is Chindota Tambala, and I'm based in Malawi. I was Chevening Scholar from 2021 to 2022. I was in Bradford. Yeah, I studied Master of Science in Sustainable Development. I should say I quite had a wonderful time in Bradford. Currently, I'm at the German Development Corporation here in Malawi, where we work, where I work on an energy program, essentially trying to provide energy to the last mile, that is being people that are normally left behind, that is vulnerable, the poor, the disabled, and all marginalized groups, essentially, so that this helps them to also have a leg in the fight towards the climate emergency, so that they are resilient and have their needs served. As everyone might know, that energy is quite the solution to unlocking of almost all the sustainable development goals that have been set. So pretty much that's about me, and I'm very happy to speak with you and address any questions that might pop up during the course of the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chindota. Thank you very much. And let me welcome Bhavna. So Bhavna was, as I mentioned, was a Rotary Peace Scholar from India. So Bhavna, say a little bit more about yourself.
Hello, thank you, Professor Anand. Thank you, Postgrad Solutions, for having me. Good afternoon, everyone from India. My name is Bhavna Solanki. I am from Mumbai, India. I'm based in Mumbai currently. I am an alumni of University of Bradford. So I was there from 2022 to 2023. I submitted my dissertation, and last year I got my degree. I went again to the university for getting my degree over there. So I had a great time in the University of Bradford. Uh, while while I was always an enthusiast for sustainability, at the university I studied MSc Sustainable Development, and after I came back, I am working with an Indian startup. We are working on regenerative agriculture, carbon removal, and sustainable supply chains. So we are trying to teach climate smart agricultural practices to farmers, and through that, trying to build natural carbon sinks in the global south, which is, of course, essential for reducing the amount of carbon that is there in the atmosphere. So, working on carbon sequestration practices in India. And I lead as a strategy and partnerships in the startup. Thank you.
Fabulous, fabulous. So thinking about people who are planning to apply for Chevening scholarships. So I can think in terms of there are 4 steps or 4 stages. So there is a stage when somebody is planning to apply, and number 2 is a stage where, okay, they were shortlisted and there is some interview or something like that. Number 3, they got selected and then they come to the university, hopefully University of Bradford, and then how they plan and succeed in their study. And number 4, after they complete the study, and then they have taken all these knowledge and skills and they're applying it to make a change in the world. And you are in that stage 4. So I'm going to ask you also about stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 a little bit. Of course, stage 4 is the focus because you are doing amazing things. So maybe we'll start with stage 4. So we'll spend a couple of minutes on that in terms of your current work and just tell us something, one or two insights in terms of, because the whole field of sustainability and climate emergency has thrown up so many issues, and it requires cooperation and collaboration, which is not easy. And there are a lot of conflicting interests as well, both in terms of national interests, but also in terms of within a country also, maybe sector interests and professional interests, etc. So there's a lot of conflicting space. So within that, how to mobilize people to choose this kind of sustainable development oriented solutions. So from your own experience, if you can reflect on one or two kind of key things for success. So who would like to go first? Shall I choose? Maybe Bhavna, you want to go first, and then we'll come to Chindota and then to Boini. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So you said key things for success to be it, and how should one get into this field of sustainability? So, for me, I understand that first of all, passion is very, very important, and for I like right from my childhood, I always felt that it is important to save the environment. It is important to save water, and it is all those small, small things that how we can live more sustainability, not to use plastic bottles, use my own water bottle. So that way, when we do certain things, and when others also look at us doing those kind of simple acts where we are living more sustainably and mindfully, I think that inspires, because that has been a part of my life, that when most of my cousins or my friends would not think of those things, and when they would see me doing it, so they would also be intrigued to know, and then we would have conversations around it. So I think that is how someone starts thinking and starts becoming inclined towards this field. And how to succeed is, I feel, this field is very dynamic. Sustainability is so vast. Somebody says sustainability is about saving trees. Somebody says sustainability is about
Water.
water, or about climate smart agricultural practices, or there are various ways. But so it doesn't matter how you look at sustainability, but how best we can make out of it. And to keep ourselves updated by reading regularly, by knowing what's happening in the field, what are others doing. As simple as somebody is doing lake cleaning in my country, and that is just one point program that person is doing. But when you do it with full passion and you talk about it, and when
Mm,
you and now we are in the world of social media, so if you publicize it, and that's
mm.
how you keep the ball rolling. So yeah, that is my take on this. Thank you.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you. So small steps are very important, and setting examples is very important. And it doesn't matter which particular area, passion. I think you mentioned about passion, passion being very important, and also that every one of us can make a difference. So I think those are, I think, important points. Thank you, Chindota. So do you want to share a few insights from your experience? Yeah.
Yeah. I think, like I mentioned before, that I'm currently working in the development cooperation sector. So, donors, development aid, or things like that. If there is something that clearly comes to mind right now when you pose that question, Professor Anand, I think I would say is resilience. For a long time, I think our sector, our field, sustainability and development sector, has been under attack, but it was rare where it was under attack by governments. So I think now I think it's a new era for our field, and I feel like resilience is a thing that comes off the top of our mind. You have to be able to be resilient and be able to adapt. So, for example, for the longest time, people have been criticizing to say, okay, we need business-led investments in development cooperation, and I feel like that is now the step in which practitioners in our field have to adapt and move on to that kind of investment. There have been suggestions to sort of say, okay, the money that is being channeled into development cooperation, sometimes it goes mismanaged, or it goes misdirected into projects that is not supposed to be. So, for example, in my current work right now, we use a model that we call a results-based financing. So essentially, results-based financing is a financing model whereby you are only able to disperse development money or donor money where results have been proven to take effect. So, but this is something that was not there before, but because of the constant, criticism of the field, this is also something that is now taking up shape now as one of the top instruments of development financing. So, I would say that resilience, also sort of patience, development, as you might know, most of you takes time. So, these are some of the things that you have to ground yourself in if you want to see results, essentially.
Fabulous.
Thank you. Yeah.
Fabulous. Yeah, I'll follow that a little bit. Um, so I think resilience, it has two aspects. So both personal resilience as well as also the institutional kind of resilience. So institutional resilience, of course, depends on longevity and building trust and kind of collaboration and things like that. And also diversity. I think diversity within an organization can be enormously helpful to build that kind of resilience. If different people bring different expertise and different worldviews, if you like, I think that those kind of organizations tend to succeed very well. As probably everyone knows, University of Bradford, we are like #1 university for social mobility, and I think it's that our emphasis on diversity and inclusion has been one of the greatest strengths for the university. So I think resilience is related to that. If you can elaborate a little bit more on the personal resilience. So I know I'm delving into your personal space. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but how do you build your personal resilience?
Interesting. I think for me personally, I would say it's just in the grounding in the reasons why I set out to do the type of work that I do. So I constantly have to remind of myself of the greater picture, the bigger picture of why we do this. And this is for most of us living in African countries, is to develop our countries. And I think that will always remain supreme as a goal to say, okay, no matter what comes at us, no matter what comes into the field, no matter what comes at me, myself personally, up there, I could easily, leave the sector and go into, for example, into financing or into banking, but, I still remain to say because this is important work and this is something that the future is also dependent on, as, sustainability always preaches. So yeah, that's it.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. We're Boini. So yeah, over to you. So
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I want to start by saying that sustainability is something very important, and I will try to underline the concept of sustainability in the lens of leadership with young people. It is very important to empower young people so that they can be aware of what they need to do as far as sustainability is concerned. So every year here in Cote d'Ivoire, I decided to organize young people from different universities and share with them the importance to protect and secure environment and especially forests in the different communities. So we have in our different university small forests that has been created by one of our professors in uh, 1965 because the university has been created in 1963 after the independence
independence.
of Cote d'Ivoire and yeah, independence of the country. So I used to send them in that forest to show the importance of species, how it's important to protect the different species. And if they know the importance and how we need to live with species, they should be able to take care of the species and not to destroy the species living in the forest. And if we help and tell them the importance of being a sustainable um, a- if we teach them how to be an agent of sustainability in the community, we do think that we give them the skills and the knowledge that they need to get and go in the different community during holidays or during the vacation. They can spread the news with other young people so that they can help them to protect and secure uh, their environment. And then after 5 months of training, I used to send them to one of the forests where the Prince of Kingdom, the Prince Edward, came in 2020 to plant a tree. And then I used to send them to that forest, let them know that, do you know why the prince came here? Because we protect and we secure the environment, the forest. And today is become a touristic in places, and people can come to run, to have the picnic, and to even organize some community activities. And I noticed that after teaching them this kind of way of protecting the environment and the forest, it helped some international students to come to Cote d'Ivoire at the University of Boigny to
Mm,
organize a summer project
mm,
every year since 2020. And they organized the summer project in collaboration with the Ivorian student,
mhm,
and they promote together the importance of protecting the environment so that we can contribute to the sustainable uh, development of their country. That's why it is very important to empower young people. And then this program has been setting out. Why? Because when I've been at the University of Bradford, uh, I was doing really peace building conflict resolution, but my option credit was sustainable with Professor Anand, where I was registered in policy analysis and for governance and development. So in during these courses are not seeing that the importance to invest in human, how the human resources is very important in, in community development. So being back home, I try to implement this example and see how young people can contribute to the development of Cote d'Ivoire by protecting the environment and by having some skills as far as sustainable development is concerned. So this is my contribution as a Chevening Scholar back home among young people.
mm. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know you do a lot of work with the youth, and I think this whole kind of um, opportunity to work with young people and develop their leadership, I think that has been very important for you and for others as well. So that's a very, very good point. Thank you very much. And I hope those who are in the audience who are watching this webinar can see in terms of you yourselves, in you, they can see their own reflection where they want to be in 3 4 years time, not just getting a Chevening scholarship, but after that what they want to do with their scholarship. So that's why I started deliberately with phase 4. Okay, so okay, now let's go to phase 1. When you are thinking of applying and beginning to apply, I know there will be a lot of kind of detailed questions, and we are not going to answer those because those, I think people have to do research on. There's a lot of information on the Chevening scholarships on the Chevening website itself. So I think it's important to research. So I'm not going to answer any of those kinds of questions. But I had a look at the questions and I had a look at the chat as well. So let's put yourselves, take back in your down the memory lane when you are planning to apply. What was going through your mind? What kind of how because there are people in the webinar who are in that stage. So if there is one piece of advice you want to give to them, what would that be? I start with my piece of advice and then I'll come to you. And I think integrity is very important. And these days with ChatGPT, etc., there is a lot of kind of temptation to use that. But I think it's when we are reading the applications, whether it's for rotary scholarships or for other, university scholarships and others, so we can actually see the integrity through from what we read. So I think that personal integrity is very important. Don't rely on ChatGPT or anybody else to write your statements and things like that. You write your own. I think it's really important. You tell your story and you should be proud of that. I think it's really important. So that's my piece of advice. But yeah, from your own experience, so when you are in that stage, application stage, is there anything you would want to give advice to the people? So Maybe we start with Chindota.
Sure. I think first of all, I must commend the audience for I think for joining this webinar. I think that is quite the first step. I wish I also had an opportunity like that, so that before I start my application, I also like hear from people that have been through the process to see what the outcome is like. But in addition to that, I would also say that research is very important. And I think what I found to be the most effective is to perhaps, if you can, talk to somebody that has been through the process before. I think they should also be able to provide some insights on how best to approach it. If you cannot find somebody on your own, I feel like it's also helpful to contact the British Embassy, the British Council that you have in your country. They normally should have the resources to connect you with somebody who has been through the process, so that they can sort of like mentor you through the process, maybe advise you on how best to approach the ACEs and how best to approach the university selection, things like that, etc., etc. But it's best to so that you do your research and, if possible, talk to somebody that has been through the process so that they can be a guiding light throughout. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bhavna?
Yeah, I I agree with what you said, integrity, what you said, research, very, very, very important. And I would just take it a little further, that even uh, intent and integrity goes hand in hand. So there is a lot that you can get out of this scholarship and this experience at the university. It's up to you how you intend uh, to participate, to give your best. Like when I was in that preparation phase of further, I applied for the Rotary Peace Fellowship. So when I was in that preparation phase, it was for me my only opportunity to study in an international university. So I had all the intent to make the most of it, whether it be assignments or whether it be extracurricular activities. So like I participated and I got chance to lead the Sustainability Society. So there, as a part of the society, I had the intent to make the most. So I would be there for any of these activities, or for all the seminars that were there, or for all the discussions, even in the informal gatherings. There was a lot of conversation about geopolitics, about peace, about sustainability, about peace and sustainability. So your intent is very important, and whether you really want to utilize it to learn, or just an opportunity to go abroad and spend time abroad. Like, it's up to you how you take it. Yes, I did see people who just used it as an opportunity to come to UK, but then you don't make the most of it. If you participate in everything, then you are able to make the most of it. Yeah, that's my take. Thanks.
Thank you. Winnie?
Yeah, thank you, Professor. I do think that Chevening is looking for global leaders. Chevening is looking for people who are able to impart positively their community. So what does it mean? It means that you need to have the moral integrity. You need to be clear. You need to be yourself when you are applying for Chevening scholarship. You need to be yourself. You need to tell your story. Tell to the member of jury who you are. They need to know you. They need to know what you're doing in your community and how you can contribute to the development of your country. You can contribute to the development of Africa and the world, and also how to be a sustainable, really leader. Because today you can see all around the world how things are moving, how things are going on. But as a Chevening scholar, when you are applying this prestigious scholarship, what will be your contribution to bring change? What will be your contribution to be a potential leader able to help other people? So that's why Chevening Scholarship is a diverse, is a scholarship that include everyone, no matter where you are from, no matter your physical condition. Chevening is an inclusive scholarship. So first, be curious. You need to be open. Don't
Mhm.
hide what you don't know. You need to share your problem, the issue that you are facing while applying to Chevening Scholarship. you are lucky to have former Chevening scholars in your country, in your community, even those who are not in your country, because Chevening is a wide network. So you can email the embassy of UK in your country. They will share with you some Chevening scholar contact so that you can be there. Even on YouTube, you can Google, you can go on YouTube, watch some video, and get. Let me tell you something. Chevening tips help me to succeed in my different essays. Giving tips help me. So it is very important to read carefully the different tips that you are being, and you need to read. Most of the time, people don't like reading. It's important to read everything on Chevening so that to be aware of what's going on in the scholarship. If you don't master the scholarship, how are you going to apply? You can apply, but you need to know the Chevening first before applying. So be be curious and be yourself. Tell your story, be true. This is what I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So some people ask, some people are lucky they apply the first time they get it. Some people apply three, four, five times and then they succeed. So we are told the story about Robert the Bruce was hiding in a cave in Scotland. He was trying to fight England at the time. So that he saw the spider falls down and then climbs again and falls down, climbs again. So from that he felt inspiration. So I think because some people posted the question saying that they applied two, three times. So yeah, you have to learn from the feedback, you have to improve, and then as Boini said, study the kind of Chevening guidance on the Chevening website itself very, very carefully. Of course, it's very competitive. In the final end, the difference between the shortlisted candidates is really minuscule because every one of them who goes to the interview stage is already filtered. So they're all kind of potentially very, very good. So at that stage, it really depends on a few things like examples, like the things that they have done to demonstrate. If you say that you really want to help your country or something like that, but you haven't done anything to show that, even small example, then how can anybody believe you? So I think it's really important. People are not looking for grand things like you represented your country in UN or you spoke or those kind of no. I think the application panel will be looking for if you say something like Bhavna mentioned intent, is that intent shown through the actions what you're doing? Yeah. So I think that's important. Okay. So that's about phase one. Let's come to phase two, which is they are selected for interview. So I'm sure you remember your own interviews. In case of Bhavna, I remember because I was on the panel, but in others' case, I was not. But so yeah, so just one or two things you remember from your interview. So how did you prepare for the interview, or what was the most interesting thing for you? Something like that. Yeah. Okay. So, Boy, you want to go first?
Okay, thank you, Professor. I think that the interview step is the most important step that you need to demonstrate that you are the owner of your application form, because most you need to demonstrate that you are the owner, you are the person who wrote your application. Because most of the time, some people they can give the application form to other people to write, but when you are at the interview, it means that you are now showing that you are the best candidate. So you need to overcome stress. You need to overcome stress. You need to overcome stress. And then personally, I had a kind of mock interview at home with my
Mm-hmm.
friend. It's very important
Mm-hmm.
to have a mock interview. And then the mock interview helped me a lot and contribute. I can say that the mock interview contribute to my success for the Chevening scholarship. Why? Because it prepares you to play well when you are on the ground. If you are a team, you want to win a cup, a competition. If you don't train yourself, I'm not sure that you are going to get some reflex during the competition. So it's the same thing with the Chevening scholarship. If you say that you are the best, no, you're never the best. If and don't be humble, be humble, be humble. Tell yourself that you are going there not because you are the knowledgeable person, but you need to be humble and stress on your strength, what you did truly. As Professor Anand mentioned, the meaningful, even if you spend time to take care of your brother and sister at home while your parents are in outside, this also a kind of leadership. It means that you know how to protect, how to lead, how to organize things. How you feed your sister, you feed your brother while parents are not at home. It means that you represent your father, you represent your mother at home. This is this is leadership. This story can help you to touch the heart of the different group of members. So what it means that don't be an an extraordinary candidate. Be really humble and don't stress. Show them that you master your topic. You need to show them that you master the topic and go to the sub point. Don't turn around the bush. Go to the sub point. This is what I would like to to add. Thank you.
Okay, okay, thank you. Bhavna, so how was your interview, Bhavna?
No, it was really interesting, my interview, and actually, Boni has already covered some very good points in what he spoke. And yeah, so as he said, yes, we have to own our application. So like we have to reread our application multiple times, because while writing we might have written it over a period of time maybe, but keep rereading it so that we know what we have written and we are able to express it in a clear way. Give clear examples, like clear examples of places where you have shown leadership, or where you have contributed towards sustainability or towards whatever is your passion. Give very clear examples of how you have done that. And also I think leadership, giving clear examples, owning your story, uh, giving and also like being very humble, as Boini said, and why it is important for you. Why is this scholarship important for you? Like a very clear why. And if you get it, what you will do with this scholarship? What is your clear intent again in getting this scholarship, and what is it that you wish to do if you get through? These kind of points are, I think, essential when we are preparing for the interview. And also maybe record, as Boini said, you can do a mock at home, but also record yourself to see how you're speaking, because not all of us are very good with our communication skills, but we have done things. So why not record ourselves, see how we are faring in that? And yeah, I think these are the points, but mostly your passion has to be visible in the way you speak. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bhavna. Thank you very much. Chinata, what are your reflections? How was your interview?
I think it's very, very difficult to come last when the other two speakers have spoken, because the issue is the same. Nerves. I remember being very, very nervous because I had initially reflected on how important this opportunity was to me. So I was very, very nervous about, letting myself on the panel down. But I think, as the other speakers have said, that it's very important to be well prepared. So whatever mechanisms you have about stress management, I think that would be the best time to sort of deploy those to make sure that your stress levels are on a good note. So that might be mock interviews, which I found very helpful. I'll also be reading about, for example, there was stress on the universities that you apply to. Make sure that you know a bit more about these places and why it fits for you to go there. And also, one very important thing also is very important to show how you will be a sort of like a bridge between yourself and the UK and your country. So that is also very important. You need to be very conversant with all things about UK culture and how you fit into that. Not in a way that says, okay, the UK is great, but how personalize it, how it's important to you, how the UK cooperation with your country is important, and how you plan to sort of like be a bridge with that. I think that is also very important. Thank you.
Yeah, very good points. I can see someone asked in terms of, about industrial sustainability. Yes, I mean, even though we are talking about sustainable development, which is a kind of a broader course in our department, MSc Sustainability, within the university, we also have sustainable energy. So there is a program on sustainable and renewable energy. But also, I think more important is master's degree in UK includes some kind of a structural factors and some freedom factors. So freedom factor is, for example, the dissertation. You can choose the topic that you like. So irrespective of whichever master's degree you are doing, within that there is always some scope to channel your energy or kind of focus on some topics that are related to you. So that's why I think, as Chindata said, do research about the courses. So I hope that answers the question. Someone asked about the industrial sustainability. So all kinds of experience. I think having some experience is always very helpful. So it doesn't matter in which field you have experience, whether it could be teaching, it could be in the field of industry itself, or working in the government, or working with an NGO. It doesn't matter. I think every kind of experience helps you to gain certain kinds of skills, and that will help you not only to succeed in gaining the scholarship, but also succeed in actually successfully completing. So I am watching time. So we have another like 15-16 minutes. So just a couple of things during your own experience of master's degree at Bradford, of course, because you're Bradford alumni, but can you think of one or two highlights? Bhavna, you mentioned about the Sustainability Society, and I think you were a phenomenal president of the Sustainability Society. So you did very interesting things. So do you want to say a little bit more? And then we'll come to Boini, and then so okay, maybe this time I'll come to Chindota and then to Boini, because Chindota was complaining for being lost. So we'll start with you, Bhavna. Just reflect on your during the period of your study at Bradford, some highlights, couple of them, one or two. Yeah.
Yes. No, thank you, Professor. So for me, since now, as we go as scholars, as Chevening Scholars or Rotary Peace Fellows, we already come with some credibility, right? Some grilling, some already checks and balances. And then I had the opportunity to get into the Sustainability Society. In fact, at the Freshers Fair itself, I was on the other side of the table recruiting freshers for the society. And that was an interesting experience. It started with like five of us, five members, and over a period of 1 year, we were able to recruit around 85 members in the society. And these were not only from the Peace Studies Department or from Sustainable Development faculty, but from the entire university. So that was, and as a part of this society, we did various events and activities. So like there's a sustainability day that we celebrate there, and it was one of the most interesting event that we had done. We did it right in the atrium in the center of the university, and there were students from all across the university coming in. We had on the theme of reduce, reuse, recycle. That was a basic theme that was there. That's as simple as that. But then in that, how in different interesting ways we could showcase that, as simple as like we all are students there, and there are multiple charity shops across Bradford, or across in the vicinity, and the students were not aware about it. So we set up a, a a shop, a charity shop sort of, where students could come and just like we had collected some used clothes and used material, used like footwear and things like that, which students could come and actually pick it. But it didn't end there. We created a list of all the charity shops across in the vicinity, used a QR code where people can scan it. They get a list of all the charity shops with a link where you can go and directly buy things at a very low cost. So like that, we try to work on behavior change and awareness generation. So and through this, it was not, it was, as I said, the interest amongst the students kept increasing. There were people from all different faculties who came together, and we also tied up with the Bradford Council at some point to do a cleanup activity in Bradford, in the city center. So that was a chance to work with the Bradford Council. There, at a point, we also collaborated with an NGO with whom we did tree planting at outskirts. It was a lovely day on a Saturday morning. We went, and it was like a picnic, but also we 17 of us planted around 400 of more than 400 trees. So everyone felt great that okay, I have a tree in my name in England. So it was very interesting, and through this entire experience, personally for me, I got to groom my leadership skills, and in an international setup, working with people from different backgrounds. So yeah, I would say that that's why I said that you have to see how you can make the most of your time at the
Okay.
university. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So, Chindota, how any highlights from your year in Bradford?
Yeah, sure. I think, like I said before, I had a wonderful time in Bradford. But I think first I would begin with learning from you, Professor Anand. I think the topic of sustainability is often considered as a buzzword, but I think going into Bradford, Professor, you almost you broke my understanding apart and put it together again in a better way. So yeah, that really made me a better leader in sustainability, and that is one of the highlights. And then secondly, we also had an opportunity to go to Mumbai, India, for an internship through the university, where we also learned a lot, especially about a new kind of research by the barefoot researchers in India, in Mumbai. So that was also a highlight
Mm-hmm.
of mine. I had never thought that Chevening would also come with a trip to Asia to learn about other different things. So that was also one of my highlights. And then lastly, we also had an opportunity to go to Northern Ireland. There we learned we dug a little bit deeper about the conflict that happened years ago that is somehow also still happening. So that also just bridging together the gap between sustainability, conflict resolution, and other things, just bringing it together and learning them in real time. It was my highlight. I would say, yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Winnie, so one or two highlights from your time. I know
Yeah.
it was a very difficult time because of the pandemic, but yeah, tell me.
Yes. Yes, it really definitely it was a very challenging time, but hopefully the University of Bradford really organized and managed to give us the opportunity to feel at home and do good things. The first thing that caught my mind is the food bank that we organized under the leadership of Professor Anand. Really, most of the achievements we put things together, and we organize this wonderful community service activities, going to share the food to underprivileged area so that people can get something for the life. So it was very interesting. The thing that the different Chevening Scholars coming from different country, we came together as one person. Because this is the spirit of the University of Bradford, living together, the social cohesion, the diversity. People from different culture are coming together, and they make life really easy, and you feel at home. You feel at
Mm.
home. This is the flavor of the University of Bradford. You need to come to experience this yeah, this wonderful time. And then the second thing is the crisis game. The crisis
Crisis
the
game,
crisis
okay.
game. Yeah. The crisis really, the crazy game was the wonderful time moment that I spent. I really experienced the real life, how as a peace builder we have this opportunity to come together to create solution when we are in an you are in different area, how to bring people together, moving to dialogue, and the different step that we are learned during class, during our lesson in classroom, we bring them to the game
Right.
and we
Yeah.
put into practice as if we were member for United Nations. Yeah, really. Yeah. So I was I was representing one of the country. I think it was yeah, Somalia. Yeah, and then we need to create a peaceful agreement. How we can bring different parties together so that we can bring a peaceful resolution on the table. So people, some scholar were represented United Kingdom, US, France, Italy, really
Mm.
different countries in the world, and we learn how to negotiate, how to set up partners. Really, it was very interesting. This game really helped me today to bring something new in conflict resolution in my country because and also the last thing that I would like to underline is
Yeah.
my participation in the student union because you know that during the COVID-19 it was not easy for us to have in person class, but
Mm.
hopefully the student union set up this kind of way online learning. So I was teaching French online,
Mhm.
yeah, to my friend and other scholar also were teaching the different uh, language.
Mm.
And at the end, I spent I think 6 months for that. And at the end, what is important, I received the award of the best international student teacher for this program.
Mhm.
And then I would like to ask you, when you are at the University of Bradford, you need to serve the university, participate in the different activities, and you will feel at home. You will demonstrate your leadership. You say that you are a leader, but you cannot be in a community at the university and be alone. No, you need to come together with other people, experience the diversity of the university, and to share your culture with the other and learn other culture so that you can be efficient. So this is
Mm.
the 3 point I would like to underline. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So there are a few questions which are kind of more appropriate for you to research because I haven't looked at specific criteria whether Chevening says that you should have graduated within a certain number of years or whatever. So that you have to check. As far as my understanding is, they are, as long as you are within the age limit, I think when you completed your graduate degree probably should not matter, but please check the regulations on Chevening website. Most important thing is in terms of how the Chevening scholarship will add value to you. Same applies to Rotary Peace Scholarship. So when we were assessing applications, the main thing we look at it is in terms of where is this person going and how will the scholarship make a difference? Will it make a difference and how will it make a difference? So that's what we are assessing. So I'm sure Chevening panel also will look at the same way. In terms of the courses, you choose whatever course you like best. Yes, I think it's good to apply to the university. It's not required by Chevening that you should have unconditional offer, but it's good to apply so that when the time comes, when you finish the interview and when the Chevening starts to do the placements, at that time, if you already have an unconditional offer from us, it makes life easy for me because in July, when I'm signing the placement form, so that's when Chevening sends me the applications that are, people who are selected and who have Bradford as number one preference. Then we respond immediately. Um, if someone doesn't have offer, of course, they will have to complete the application at that stage, and then we'll have to look at getting the unconditional offer. In most cases, if you qualified for Chevening scholarship, it is highly likely that you will meet all the requirements for the university as well. But universities have their own regulations, so we have to go through our process. It's not the same. We cannot forget that. Chevening is a complete scholarship, same as Rotary Peace also is a complete scholarship in the sense that they provide both tuition fee and also living allowance, and in some cases also, in case of Chevening, of course, there is the return airfare as well. I think in Rotary also we do provide airfare. um, in Chevening, unless there is some study visit or something is mandatory for your course, otherwise the study visit costs are not included, so those you have to manage by yourself. And you also should not be out of the UK for more than 4 weeks. Then after that, there will be impact on your bursary, and the bursary is paid as soon as you arrive. The first installment is paid, and after that, Chevening, the placement officer, usually arranges you to get, you set up a bank account, and then everything is transferred from that point of view. This is becoming much better as years progress. Anyway, those are all kind of things you can learn about. Before we close, I want to give just one final chance for each of our amazing alumni who are scholars here, who are doing great things. Briefly, less than a minute. So, in terms of your closing words, first we'll start with Chindota because he was complaining about coming last. So we start with Chindota first.
No, I think mine would just be encouragement to please pursue this. This is a worthy pursuit. It's very important. It's very highly rewarding at the end, and I encourage you to seek all the support that you can get to make sure that you are successful in this. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And then we go to Boini, and then we come finally to Bhavna. Yeah,
Yeah,
Boini.
thank you. Thank you for the amazing moment we spent here. I want to encourage them to apply and come to the University of Bradford. And if you are in a francophone country, don't worry about the English language. You need to get ready with the English language and apply for the Chevening scholarship. It's a good opportunity to boost yourself and help you to go forward in your career. So I would like really to encourage all of you to apply and come to the University of Bradford to experience good time, good moment. This year, the University of Bradford and Bradford, the whole is the UK city
City
of
of Culture.
culture. So yeah, culture. So you need to come and see really this potential that Bradford has, and then how you can also contribute, take it also back home to help your country. So good luck, everyone. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Bhavna, final words from you.
Yeah, just I would say like keep preparing, keep revising your application, make it strong, and once don't lose hope even if you don't make it in the first time. And once you are there, ensure that you make the most of the international culture that you get to experience in the university. It's not just UK. It is for me it was the best opportunity to meet people from Africa and similar from all other places. So you just make the most of your time there. Thank you. All the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you. Yeah, as Boini mentioned, this is UK City of Culture, but also in the university we are just getting ready. I'm very pleased that we have been selected to host the annual conference of the Human Development and Capability Association, which is a learned society, global society with over 1,000 members, founded by Nobel Prize winner Professor Amartya Sen and philosopher Martha Nussbaum in 2004. So this is 21 years. So the annual conference is coming to Bradford next week. So we are all very busy with that. From 1st to 4th September, it's happening, and amazing people are coming to Bradford to speak. Around 200 scholars are coming here, and so some of the students now are volunteering to help in the organization of the conference. So I hope this webinar has been useful. We tried to give a glimpse of not just about application process and boring details like that, but to actually meet three very dynamic scholars who have gone through the process, who won the scholarship, who came to Bradford, and now they are back in their countries and actually applying what they learned to make a difference in the world. So this is Professor P.V. Anand, and it has been a real pleasure for me to share some ideas through these scholars, and I'm handing it back to Gareth. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Anand. I really appreciate that, and thank you for helping moderate that as well. And also, Chindota, I'll mention you first, not last. Bogni and Borna also, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you taking the time out, talking about your experiences, where you are now, representations from every continent, which is fantastic. So, just a reminder, if you are watching this, this has been a University of Bradford special. Obviously, it's related to Chevening, which is fantastic. If anyone needs any help applying or isn't sure, please reach out to Professor Anand. reach out to any of the three current and ex-students that we've got on the call. Likewise, we also caught up with Chevening last week on a webinar, very much like this, that help you apply and what to do next. So if you are struggling, have any questions, please reach out. But for now, thank you very much, Professor Anand, Chendota, Bogni, Borna. Thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you soon. Any questions that haven't been answered, we have all your details. I will be passing them personally directly to the University of Bradford. We will reach out to you. We will get your questions answered. So any problems, let me know. But for now, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you to the three that have taken time out of their very busy days to take part in this. And Professor Anand, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.